Good day, dear friends. With you is Natalia on the channel Dr. Savkina, where I share my personal experience and answer your questions. Today we will talk with you about how to understand that the veins of the legs are clogged. To this day, there are many different theories of atherosclerosis development, but none of them provide a definitive answer to the question of its causes. Unfortunately, the plaques that form in the vessels no longer dissolve. We only have the power to slow down their further enlargement on one hand, and on the other hand, to prevent life-threatening complications. Today, we will talk with you about 7 signs that you need to pay attention to in order to seek help from specialists in time. So, in order not to miss the precious time given to us, let's turn our attention to such seemingly trivial things as a pale tint of the skin on the legs. At the same time, dryness of the skin is usually noted. The second sign of leg vein neglect is the cessation of hair growth on the shins in males. Often men do not pay enough attention to this fact. After all, it's not a receding hairline, it's just legs. Nevertheless, the sudden hair loss on the legs is indeed caused by neglected veins. In this case, the blood flow is disrupted and the tissues begin to suffer from a lack of nutrients and oxygen. The skin becomes smooth and shiny. The third sign, which can also indicate the presence of leg vein congestion, is a decrease in the level of subcutaneous fat in the area of the calf and thigh. The fourth sign is atrophy of the muscles of the calf and thigh. In other words, the muscles decrease in volume, lose their tone and strength, which ultimately leads to a decrease in motor activity. Most often the vessels are clogged on one side, with one leg becoming thinner than the other. So, if you have identified these symptoms in yourself, seek help from a doctor. Vascular surgeons deal with this problem. For those who don't like going to doctors, I suggest doing 2 simple things. Firstly, have an ultrasound examination of the blood vessels of the lower extremities. And secondly, get a blood test for lipid spectra and blood sugar to assess the possibility of developing this disease. The 5th sign, indicating the presence of leg vessel blockage, is the inability to withstand physical loads. In this case, the legs get tired quickly, even with normal walking. The 6th sign, which no longer speaks, but screams that you need to urgently seek help from a doctor, is the appearance of quite intense pain and burning in the legs, requiring immediate stop and rest. This is what doctors call intermittent claudication syndrome. A person, having felt severe pain in the legs, is simply forced to stop and stand for a while until the pain subsides. Then he can move on for some time. However, after a certain period of time, the pain in the legs comes back with new force. Moreover, the more clogged the leg vessels are, the shorter this period of time. The 7th sign, signaling us about the presence of clogged leg vessels, is the appearance of a sensation of crawling ants, and no less, and cramps in the legs. All these are signs of impaired nerve nutrition, so-called neuropathy. Dear friends, if you have identified the 7 signs of clogged leg vessels mentioned by me, immediately seek help from a specialist. I don't want to scare you, but in some cases, delay is similar to death. Subscribe to my channel and stay healthy.